First, we start with breaking news from Davidson County this morning. The Highway Patrol confirms a pedestrian was hit a little more than an hour ago on Brown Laughlin Bridge near High Rock Lake. That's just west of Denton. We are working to learn the extent of the victim's injuries. We will bring you that information as it comes into the newsroom. And new this morning, police say shoppers at a Walmart in Burlington made an unsettling discovery.
Yeah, they did. Bullet holes in their cars. Now, this happened last night at the Walmart on South Graham Hopedale Road. Officers say just before 9 o'clock, several people walked up to find that their cars had been hit with rounds of gunfire. And while investigators were at the scene, someone showed up at the hospital with gunshot injuries.
Well, it's not clear this morning if those two incidents are related, but detectives are going over surveillance video and talking to witnesses to get a better understanding of everything.
Well, this week, the Business 40 reconstruction project takes another step towards completion. On Friday morning, drivers will be able to use Business 40 between Highway 52 and South Main Street. You will not be able to use the Highway 52 ramps north or southbound to get onto Business 40, but you can use the exits on Business 40 to get onto Highway 52. Happening today, people in support of tighter restrictions to gun access are taking their concerns to one of North Carolina's top lawmakers. Protesters say they're gathering outside of Senator Thom Tillis's Raleigh office today. The demonstration is in response to the shooting death of a 9-year-old girl last week in Durham. The child was killed in a drive-by shooting.
8:03, and this morning at 10, North Carolina Attorney General Josh Stein will make an announcement about vaping litigation. Stein filed a lawsuit against e-cigarette maker Juul 3 months ago, and he wants to block vaping access to minors and limit the number of flavors available.
It looks like Russian President Vladimir Putin made good on his promise to strike back at the U.S. Russia says it fired its own test missiles after the Pentagon tested a new missile that was banned under a now defunct arms treaty. Jared Hill is in the Washington News Bureau to break down what this means.
You know, everyone is keeping an eye out for what this means for the future, but Russia is saying that it's going to continue working on these new weapons. According to multiple reports, Russia conducted a flurry of military drills this weekend, including test firing nuclear-capable missiles from a submarine near NATO's borders. The reports of tests come after the U.S. pulled out of the Intermediate-Range Nuclear Forces Treaty earlier this month, saying that Russia violated that agreement. It's a claim that Moscow, though, has denied. Now, all the while, President Trump has been talking up Russia's possible return to the G7 next year, which is going to be hosted by the United States.
A lot of people are smart. A lot of people say having Russia, which is a power, having them inside the room is better than having them outside the room.
Now, the Kremlin is not acknowledging that they want back into the G7, claiming that they haven't requested anything. Reporting in Washington, I'm Jared Hill.
Jared, thank you. President Trump is offering to host next year's G7 summit. That location is raising some criticism, however. The president is proposing to bring the G7 to his Doral Golf Resort in Miami. Government ethics watchdogs are critical of that idea, saying the president would make money off the deal. President Trump says making a profit didn't cross his mind when offering to host.
Well, making State of Addiction news this morning, Johnson & Johnson says it will appeal a landmark ruling from a judge. A judge in Oklahoma ruled that the company was financially responsible for the state's opioid crisis. Johnson & Johnson was ordered to pay $572 million.
Johnson & Johnson did not cause the opioid abuse crisis here in Oklahoma or anywhere in this country.
We have proven that Johnson & Johnson built its billion-dollar brand out of greed and on the backs of pain and suffering of innocent people.
Well, there are nearly 1,500 other lawsuits filed by state, local, and tribal governments against Johnson & Johnson concerning opioid abuse. State of Addiction is our special coverage of the country's opioid crisis. You can find local stories on our website, WXAI12.com, and also on our free news app. Well, the Salvation Army of High Point is facing some challenges. That's following days of heavy rain. All of the water has led to flooding inside of the facility. The water damage means the families staying at the shelter have been forced to move elsewhere temporarily. It's not clear when they can return. The Salvation Army of High Point is seeking donations to help these families until their shelter is dry and safe.
8:07 this Tuesday morning, and with the memory of Hurricane Maria still fresh in their minds, people living in Puerto Rico are stocking up ahead of Tropical Storm Dorian. The storm it could be approaching in the coming days, possibly reaching hurricane strength.
And that system is moving toward the island and could strengthen as it churns on. Reed Binion has reaction from anxious residents.
We are worried even with the rain, just in a normal day. So
residents in Puerto Rico bracing for impact as Tropical Storm Dorian churns closer and closer by the hour.
when a storm comes, we are much worried about what is going to become after.
The system intensified as it raged across the Atlantic Monday, poised to slam the Caribbean. Puerto Rico's governor declaring a state of emergency and trying to reassure residents. This as many are still reeling from Hurricane Maria's devastation in 2017.
The whole island has been traumatized, so you have to take that into consideration.
Thousands were killed and power was knocked out for nearly the entire territory. In Barbados, anxiety over the storm had motorists lined up bumper to bumper to fill up on gas. And in Florida, FEMA activated 2 Miami-based federal task forces, one headed to Puerto Rico and another to St. Croix.
We prepare, we train year-round, and our guys are elite. They're the best of the best. So the 28 teams around the country are the elite. They are trained to the technician level across the board and where their expertise might be.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.